Blueberry-Walnut Bread is baking. We just have a little chat together, a little girl chat. So I've been a fan of Keeping Up with the Kardashians since it came out. I mean, I've been following this family, just like a lot of people, obviously, because they're still on many years later, for a really long time. And so lately, since I've, made the decision to become a mom, I just have been looking all around me, whether it's amongst my friend group, amongst my family, just anyone around me, somebody new that I meet. I'm always looking for just mommy role models. Like, I like to look to other women and ask them, like, hey, what are you doing? What works for you? I like to just hear everyone's experiences so I can be like just more prepared, even though I hear you're never prepared for the reality of motherhood, but I'm just always very curious. So keeping with that, I've been looking also at some of my favorite celebrities. Like, what are they doing? What are they wearing? What are their kids wearing? So I've been looking at Kim and Kourtney Kardashian, thinking amongst the two of them, like, who would be my mommy role model? Who would I look to for advice or information? And so that's what we're going to do today. Let's get into it. All right, so first, let's start. I'm looking at my phone because I actually wrote something about this before in my blog. So anyway, I look to them for pregnancy fashion, and so when it comes to Kim and Kourtney, they definitely have different styles. Kourtney is a little bit more like boho chic, although lately it's kind of like she stepped it up a notch, and she's just very eclectic in her fashion, but generally when she's pregnant, she's very boho chic, loose clothing, very flowy, comfortable dresses, still fashionable, but just really comfortable. Whereas Kim really likes to push it with fashion. She likes to be on the edge, the cutting edge of everything. And so her clothing tends to be more sleek and minimalist, and just very form-fitting. And so when I look to these two, I just think, like, I think if I were pregnant, I've never been pregnant, but I think if I were, I would probably lean towards the way Kourtney dresses, because it just seems very comfortable and just what maybe your body needs. When you're pregnant, it's just loose and flowy and not restricting. So I definitely think that I would model my pregnancy fashion after Kourtney for sure. So when it comes to like health and nutrition, again, I do not know these people personally. This is just for fun. But when I look and hear about, what Kourtney does in her household, she definitely follows a gluten-free and I believe dairy-free lifestyle. Kim, on the other hand, although she is, someone who generally eats healthy foods, I mean, I don't know what she eats regularly, but she's been caught on camera sort of eating salads and things like that. But she has also made special trips, going to Paris to have her favorite cheesecake, or going to New Orleans on a private jet with her friends to consume beignets, before having to sort of restrict her calories and go crazy to get her body back after pregnancy. So out of the two women, I definitely lean towards Kourtney, because I think she definitely tries to eat healthfully throughout, whether she's pregnant or not pregnant, and she stays active and things like that. Whereas, I mean, just based on my observation, it seems like Kim is just like, whew, thank God I'm pregnant. I can just kind of like eat whatever I want, and I'm free for these 9 months, and then she goes back and restricts. And I've kind of done that throughout my life too, where I like binge, and then I have to like restrict my calories, and I just don't want to go back to this manic lifestyle. So I definitely lean towards Kourtney on this one. When it comes to breastfeeding, so I think it's generally known that both women have breastfed their children, but Kourtney definitely seems to have breastfed them longer, and she's also more willing to do it publicly, because if her child is hungry and she has her boobs there, she's ready to feed her children, and so she's been seen in public breastfeeding her children. Whereas Kim, who did breastfeed not as long, especially with her second child, Saint, she didn't breastfeed as long. But she has been known to say that, she's just not comfortable doing that in public, which honestly really shocks me, because She's willing to sort of put herself out there in so many ways, being nude in public, which is awesome. Like, she has an amazing body, don't get me wrong. So she's entitled to do that, and it's a free country. But at the same time, when it comes to like feeding your child, which is like their most basic need, she just has said she's not comfortable doing that in a restaurant or in a public place like that. Okay, to each her own, but I definitely feel like these boobs were made for feeding. When it comes to kid style, I think that when I look at their kids, those kids are very, very put together, fashionable, of course. I mean, the Kardashians have their own kids line, and they also have a lot of connections in the fashion world, and have partnerships with designers, etc. So their kids are definitely well dressed. But when it comes to, in my opinion, what I feel is appropriate, I think that Kourtney tends to dress her kids more appropriately, especially, I hate to say this because it's like, well, girls, you know, you have to be careful how you dress them, but I don't know, I kind of feel that that's true. I mean, in some instances, North is super cute, and her fashion is like, her clothes are just worth more than probably the house I'm in right now. Her is just crazy. But sometimes I just have seen in magazines and pictures that she's dressed in things that are sheer, and I don't know, it's just some things just seem a little bit too adult for a toddler or for a young child. That's just my opinion. So I think that for me, in terms of appropriateness, I would lean towards Kourtney again, just because, again, I don't want to hypersexualize my toddler. Again, my opinion, let me know if you disagree. Alright, so that's it from me. As you can see, I definitely lean towards looking at Kourtney as a mommy role model, and of course this is all in fun. I don't take what celebrities do too seriously. This was just for some laughs. So definitely let me know down in the comments, who's your mommy role model? It doesn't have to be one of the Kardashians. Could be anyone in the world. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you look up to. And for those of you in the United States, enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday, and I'll see you next time.